The evolution of taste, from water to Fruitarian purity. In November 2021, a profound realization emerged. Water no longer tasted the same. This shift came after years of adopting a Fruitarian lifestyle and a decade of commitment to a raw vegan diet. From November 2011, distilled water was a constant companion, always on hand to accompany smoothies, juices, salads, nuts, and sprouts. It seemed essential at the time. However, as the transition to a true fruitarian lifestyle began in September 2021, everything changed. By November of that year, the body had completely stopped accepting water. The taste buds, now attuned to the natural sweetness and vibrancy of fruit juices, rejected water as a bulky and flavorless substance. It was surprising to realize that water, once considered a necessity, was no longer required. This discovery was met with shock, not only personally but also by others, including family members. Memories of mixing water with juices seemed distant as the palate evolved to recognize water as unnecessary, even toxic. A brief attempt to drink water in January 2022 led to swelling, discomfort, and a sense of lifelessness. Recovery came only through fresh lemon juice, which revitalized the body and reinforced the message that water was no longer compatible with this lifestyle. Fruits with their vibrant juices became the sole source of hydration and nourishment. Unlike water, fruits offered everything the body needed without causing discomfort or imbalance. Remarkably, the fruitarian diet allowed the body to regulate itself naturally, preventing overeating and promoting optimal health. This journey also brought clarity about other foods. Nuts, once a staple of the raw vegan diet, revealed themselves to be unsuitable. The money and effort spent on nuts and other raw vegan staples seemed wasteful and hindsight. The body thrived on simplicity, fresh fruits and their juices, nothing more. For those beginning this journey, starting with a juicing machine is an excellent way to ease into the fruitarian lifestyle. Incorporating a variety of fruits offers nourishment, energy, and natural healing. Fruits are nature's medicine, providing a clean and sustainable way of living that transcends traditional dietary norms. Embracing this lifestyle earlier would have been life-changing, but even now, the lessons learned are invaluable. The fruitarian path is a revelation, a testament to the power of nature and the body's ability to adapt and thrive. This is an invitation to explore the transformative potential of fruits and leave behind outdated notions of food and hydration. Hydration and harmony, awakening humanity to the power of natural consumption. Water is one of Earth's most precious resources, vital for sustaining life and ecosystems. Yet your global approach to water consumption and food has become harmful, not only to your environment but also to human health. This essay explores the profound connection between diet, hydration, and the environment, advocating for a shift towards mindful consumption and a fruitarian lifestyle. The pollution of your waterways. Modern human habits have turned rivers, canals, and oceans into repositories of waste. The sight of plastic bottles clogging water banks and canals is a glaring reminder of how unsustainable bottled water and packaged liquids have become. Such pollution not only harms aquatic ecosystems but also compromises the quality of clean water for future generations. Plastic water waste Plastic waste leaches harmful chemicals into waterways, exacerbating the crisis. The natural hydration of fruits. Fruits are nature's gift, designed to hydrate humans with pure, living water. Unlike processed or bottled liquids, the water contained in fruits is naturally balanced with vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that nourish the body. This magic water hydrates cells more effectively and does not burden the body with additives or pollutants. For fruitarians, this form of hydration aligns with the body's natural needs. The harmful effects of processed foods. Cooking food introduces chemical changes that diminish its nutritional value. The combustion process alters natural compounds, potentially introducing toxins and reducing hydration levels. Furthermore, salt, a common ingredient in processed foods, drains the body's natural fluids and leads to dehydration over time. These effects exacerbate malnutrition and perpetuate cravings for unhealthy foods. Challenges to change. One reason many people resist switching to a fruitarian diet is that their taste buds have adapted to artificial flavors and processed textures. These unrefined palates often find the acidity and purity of fruits unappealing, yet this resistance is merely a sign of body's adjustment period as it transitions from synthetic stimuli to natural sustenance. A call for awakening. To truly embrace harmony with your environment, you must reconsider its dietary and hydration habits. By switching to a fruitarian diet, you can reduce pollution, improve your health, and align with nature's intent. Bottled liquids and processed foods are not necessities, they're cultural constructs that can and should be replaced by the simplicity of roots and natural practices. Conclusion. This essay advocates for a fundamental shift in perspective, viewing water and food not as commodities but as sacred elements of life. By reducing reliance on bottled liquids, embracing fruits as a primary source of hydration, and rejecting processed foods, humanity can restore balance to both its health and the planet. It's time for individuals to awaken to the possibilities of a cleaner, more compassionate future, one juicy fruit at a time. The journey of water, how a cherry tree transforms groundwater into nourishing fruit. Water is the lifeblood of all living organisms, and plants have evolved intricate systems to utilize it for growth, nourishment, and reproduction. A cherry tree with its vibrant red fruit is a prime example of nature's remarkable ability to transform basic elements from its environment into something extraordinary. This essay explores how water from the ground interacts with the cherry tree, how the tree knows its identity, and what water content is found inside the fruit. From soil to roots, absorption and transport. When rainwater seeps into the soil, it carries dissolved minerals and nutrients. This nutrient-rich water is absorbed by the tree's roots through a process called osmosis. The root hairs, tiny extensions of the root, increase the surface area for absorption. The absorbed water then travels upward through the xylem, a vascular tissue in the tree that functions like a natural pipeline transporting water to the leaves and fruits. How the cherry tree knows its identity. The tree's genetic blueprint encoded in its DNA dictates its identity as a cherry tree. This genetic programming guides every aspect of its growth and development, from the shape of its leaves to the flavor of its fruit. The specialized enzymes and hormones within the tree's cells ensure that water and nutrients are directed to areas of growth and fruit production, tailoring these resources to create cherries. Filtration and transformation. As water travels through the tree, it is filtered and transformed. The roots and xylem act as a natural sieve, selectively allowing beneficial minerals to pass while blocking harmful substances. The tree's cells then use this purified water in photosynthesis, a process where sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide are converted into glucose and oxygen. This energy is crucial for the development of cherries. The water content of cherries. Cherries are composed of approximately 80-85% water. This water is not just plain H2O, it's enriched with natural sugars, vitamins, and minerals absorbed from the soil. The cherry tree's meticulous filtering and nutrient allocation result in a fruit that is both hydrating and nourishing for humans and animals. The cycle of life. Once the cherries mature, they fulfill their role in the tree's reproductive cycle by enticing animals and humans to eat them. The seeds within the cherries are then dispersed, ensuring the growth of new cherry trees. This cycle highlights the interconnectedness of water, soil, and life. Conclusion. The journey of water from the ground to a cherry fruit exemplifies the wonders of nature. Through its roots, xylem, and cells, the cherry tree not only sustains itself, but also produces a fruit that hydrates and nourishes of other living beings. Understanding this process underscores the importance of preserving your water sources and respecting the intricate systems that support life on Earth. Protecting the Earth and embracing sustainability. Water is the essence of life, and without it, nothing would thrive on this planet. I feel a deep sorrow when witnessing the contamination of water sources in many parts of the world. It's heartbreaking to see beautiful natural environments tainted by human activity, especially with the plastic bottles and other waste left behind by careless tourists. People consume toxic beverages and carelessly dispose of their waste, polluting the very waters that sustain life. This destructive behavior harms not just humans but also animals who suffer in silence. In places like Africa, countless piles of discarded clothing litter the oceans and beaches. Its negative impact that could be avoided with greater awareness and action. People should rethink their habits, especially with the excessive consumption and waste that seem to define modern life. Many are unaware of how much damage they are causing through overuse of resources like water and electricity. I remember my time living in New York City, where entire business buildings kept electric lights on throughout the night, even when no one was working. This unnecessary waste of energy is just one example of how much more could be done to conserve. It's time for a shift towards sustainability, saving water, using solar power, embracing renewable energy sources, and moving away from fuel driven cars. Shopping habits also contribute to the growing problem of overconsumption. Many people, often driven by nervousness or impulse, engage in endless shopping sprees, buying low quality clothing that often ends up in landfills. Some of this clothing is shipped to countries like Nigeria, where vast mountains of discarded garments pollute the environment. These clothes, made mostly of synthetic materials like polyester, cannot be burned safely due to their harmful composition. This adds to the global crisis, leaving both people and the planet in a state of distress. Through my personal experience, I've learned that clothing should be made of natural, soothing materials like cotton, which is far gentler on the skin. I've also embraced a more sustainable lifestyle, staying at home as much as possible to focus on personal growth and creativity. By reducing the need to commute, I'm not only conserving energy but also dedicating time to important projects like writing a book on sustainability. One of the ways I've actively embraced sustainability is by upcycling old clothing into new items. I've even created furniture such as sofa made of recycled fabric and crafted false leather items that are both beautiful and functional. These efforts highlight the power of reusing and recycling, showing that waste can be transformed into something useful and artistic. I urge others to rethink their consumption habits to save water, conserve electricity, and be mindful of the impact their purchases have on the planet. It's time to make smarter choices and start living more sustainably so future generations can thrive in a cleaner, healthier world. Once I embraced the Fruitarian lifestyle and began meditating, I realized I no longer celebrated the various religious, cultural, or societal holidays. This is the freedom of being a Fruitarian, embracing simplicity and self-love. Instead, I turned inward, focusing on my personal growth and well-being. While others gather for dinners and parties, I stay home, immersed in my work and self-care routines. I clean my dwelling, focusing on areas that have been neglected for a while, and reflect on my journey. Living with the UFO entity has deepened my connection to myself and the world around me. My attention is always directed toward my book and what I'm learning. One of my most liberating aspects of being a Fruitarian is the freedom of from societal expectations. Unlike others who feel the pressure to cook meals that have been passed down through generations or to please others with food, my diet is incredibly simple. I don't create anything, I simply take what nature offers. I buy my food, clean it, peel it, and eat it. Take mangoes, for example. The beauty of eating a mango is that just one ingredient. It's no need for preparation or a complicated recipe. It's pure, fresh, and satisfying, like an ice cream without all the additives. Ice cream, on the other hand, is a factory made, requiring numerous steps, ingredients, and synthetic materials, none of which are truly nourishing for the body. The dairy in the ice cream, especially from cows, is not meant for human consumption. Yet people continue to complicate things, relying on processed food that doesn't respect the natural way of life. The modern world pushes individuals to seek validation from others. People often want to be likable, liked, evaluated, and accepted. But that need for external approval creates discomfort and insecurity. As a fruitarian, I've learned to focus solely on being likable to myself. I make decisions based on what feels right for me, and that's enough. The only other beings who evaluate me, it seems, are the aliens, who are always observing and guiding, quietly watching over my path. The fruitarian lifestyle has taught me that life can be simple, fulfilling, and free of unnecessary complexity. Once you stop seeking external validation, you open yourself up to a deeper connection with the world around you and the peaceful beings who may be observing.